shaking your head? Oh, I get why you're shaking your head. We gotta figure this out. We're gonna have to go in the studio or something and do our episodes because it's a trip, man. One day it's gonna happen. One day we're gonna be together again, recording our podcast without all the outside influences and noises. Um, welcome to another episode of The Size Up. I'm your girl, Big Ski is Faith, and I got the homie Wendy with me.
Hey.
Poor baby. We're gonna get into our episode today. I'm gonna kick it off by asking you, how did your week go, Wendy? How did that?
I work at DHS. Need I say more?
Okay, that's what we're going with today. Okay, because I work at DHS. Not need I say more. I just had, my week is my weeks are always interesting. Let me say that. They're always pretty interesting. I Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you better. Okay. He still had his headphones hooked up here. One day I'm gonna get my own little studio set up. I just wrote insurance this week. I want to continue to write insurance. That's all I did. I need to be studying. I need to be studying. That's what I really need to be doing with my life. I ain't been doing it. But I definitely need to be studying so I can get this SIE license. That's been my life though. I've been ripping and running with the kids. My 13-year-old now has a phone. We did that yesterday. I'm very grateful that he has a phone because now I can reach him at any time instead of having to call other people to figure out. With them playing football, it was needed. I was vehemently against it. And keep in mind, he's still talking about this iPhone that he wants. And I'm sorry, no, you're gonna get this little cheap phone right here. And so you can prove to me that iPhone is where your life needs to be. Until then, you're not doing the iPhone, sir. You're not. But yeah, this is where I am with it. We are going to get into our show. I'm gonna start with our reality tea. I got quite a few things with the reality tea. So Married to Medicine has some new characters that are joining. Apparently, Phadra, and Dr. Greg Lunsford's fiance. I don't know if they're married yet or not, but
no, they're not married. They just got engaged.
They will be joining the show. Anila and Contessa, however,
Contessa quit. Apparently,
did she quit?
Apparently, that's what I said. Make sure you put the banner on.
Let me get the banner up right now. I'll make sure I say it all through our conversation over on the TikTok. So I don't know that Contessa quit. Let's talk about this. So this is according to reality.com. Married to Medicine cast shakeup. Anila Sanjay and Contessa Metcalf are out ahead of season 10. Married to Medicine fans are in for some big changes. Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Phadra Parks is coming in hot. She snagged the doctor and had some availability on her schedule.
Did she really?
Now she snagged the doctor though.
Did she really? That's the question.
So she might have not have a peach, but she does have a show. In true Bravo fashion, if one comes in, some go out. So great news for Anila. She will now have time to work on her blog. Anila's services on Married to Medicine is no longer required. And now we'll have to mentally visualize Kieran Sanja's looks of despair as Anila goes on buying sprees. Oh my God. She just says there are three sides to a story. Somewhere between their story and mine is the truth. So basically, she's admitting that they have let her go. The truth is, Toya Bush Harris is probably chuckling quietly to herself somewhere in the confines of her closet. Also, the truth is, only half of the rumors are true. I won't be on the upcoming seasons of Married to Medicine, but I won't be gone for long. Thanks for the warning. Okay. Um, she does encourage the fans to stay, stay there, keep watching the show going on and all that stuff. So hopefully we wish her well. She is thankful for her opportunity. Um, and that's that. And then Dr. Contessa Metcalf is packing her stethoscope and moving on. She wants to take a pause from the crazy and hang out with her family. Last month, Simone raised some brows when she posted a picture featuring Quad's ex on Instagram. With and they had it was a night of fun. So Quad's ex was Dr. Gregory Lunsford. Let me say this. When I watched Married to Medicine and I went back because I had to go back, right? Greg didn't seem to me like he liked women. That was my thought process. That's how I felt about him. That's why I think him and Quad got a divorce. That was my thought process because the way he acted during that whole thing, it was really effeminate to me. Just to me. Okay. He went and got him another woman. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. But a lot of people are kind of side-eyeing the connection. So Quad's ex is going to be back on Married to Medicine with his new boo. Contessa said she got tired of going back and forth with everybody, the craziness, that sort of thing. She felt like, she just needed to take a pause. And she felt like the show was getting away from what it was originally for, which Contessa, you weren't an original castmate. How long has Contessa been on the show?
I want to say at least 5 seasons at least.
It's gotten away from an original premise. It was messy to begin with. Let me say this: ain't nothing on Bravo, just straight up. They want the drama because they want the ratings. You know what I'm saying? So I don't buy that. And then Contessa was cussing everybody out when she first got there. So that's the other part of it. So I don't 100% believe. I can't get behind. It's not really showcasing what I do as a doctor when you was in school for half of the time you was on there. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought process. How do you feel about Anila and Contessa's departure?
Well, Contessa, I think that her marital problems probably caused her to go ahead and do it. But I'm glad Anila is gone because when she was making insinuation about Toya knowing who stole her stuff,
I didn't like it at all. There wasn't. To me, I think
that was also the demise of her.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter anyway, either way.
Yeah. Contessa and her husband, from my understanding, for what I could tell, had gotten back on track. Or so I thought. When they started having those issues and those problems, though, I do think that it had a lot to do with the show.
Mm-hmm.
But for all intents and purposes, I thought they were okay this past season. Do I think she needs to focus on her family and her practice? Absolutely. Focus on that. Do what you need to do. If they ask you to come back into the fold, come back into the fold.
No, they should have made her a friend of.
Yeah, because according to her, she and Phadra are neighbors. So
Mm-hmm.
I think she still could have fit in somewhere or another. But she probably didn't want to do the show at all. Um,
Right.
which is fine. That's cool.
Well, at least
I
if
don't
you
believe
be
she
a
walked away
friend
though.
of, they're not too invasive. You know, you
Well,
can show
yeah,
up when
yeah.
whenever they had like Carrie's role as a friend of.
I did
Mhm.
get to catch an interview that Carlos King did with Mariah. Um, and they talked about Mariah's role and how she kind of lost out on being on the show. And how she really didn't think that she wasn't thinking as far as she was thinking more so on the producer side of things. She wasn't thinking of herself as a cast member, and she didn't know that people would take to her and like her. Um, and so they didn't renew her contract to come back. Um, so nobody, I don't think anybody took her show. I think she still gets producing credit though, because she said she had two contracts. She had a producer's contract and she had the appearance contract. But I think her name is still she still gets producing credit on the show. Um, which is crazy to me. Um, and then she said she felt away because none of the ladies that were on the show that she brought to the show, because the show was her idea, none of the ladies that she brought to the show actually stood up for her during this process or throughout this whole situation, which I thought was interesting because she the reason why you on the show, you know. Um, and if anybody have to feel a way about bringing somebody to the show, I think Mariah has a right. You know, I don't particularly like everything she did on the show, but I think she had a right more so than, let's say, Sharice over at Real Housewives of Potomac. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think she had more of a right to feel some type of way about people not standing up for her. Just my thought process. What are your thoughts on that?
About Mariah. I think it's kind of messed up that they didn't stand like a united front because it was her idea for the
It
show.
was her
Period.
show.
It was her show,
She brought that
and
show to Bravo.
so
And y'all are the reason why she's on the show. We wouldn't have known who Dr. Jackie. Now, Dr. Jackie might have popped up on Atlanta, or she might have popped up on. I remember she was the doctor for Tamar when Tamar was pregnant with the baby. On Braxton Family Values. She might have popped up here or there, but we would not have known Dr. Jackie, who Dr. Jackie was, aside from that, because I never remember. I think the only doctor that I really remember that was like a therapist that's been on a show like that is Dr. Terry. Other than that, I don't remember any of the other doctors or the extra people that come on the shows. So you got a platform, sis. And I don't know that she didn't get this business from Candy or Tamar as a result of her being on Married to Medicine. You see what I'm saying? So things like that, I think people should be, if in my opinion, should be grateful for, and they should have stood up because you got a platform because of her. Just my thought process. Um, but yeah, so those are the cash shakeups over at Married to Medicine. Um, hopefully they find a way to work something out with Mariah. I haven't heard anything about her case. We did hear allegedly that Bravo did settle with Nene for a certain amount of money. Word on the curb is Nene is engaged to her little African man.
is he divorced?
That is the better question. Is he divorced? That is a very good question because apparently he is married. I don't know. But Nene, you talking about, well, no, it ain't the same as Portia. You just know the man married. Um, so yeah. Um, so Married to Medicine will be coming. I don't know when the new season airs. But we'll keep you informed because I'm sure they're gonna be on our um weekly discussions once they come back to into the fold. Um, so Drew and Ralph are getting a divorce, and I can't say I'm surprised about this. I'm not surprised at all. We saw he went to San Diego for 4 days, didn't tell nobody where he was going. I don't know why you went to San Diego, sir. You got mad from an argument, so you left and was gone for 4 full days. I thought that was okay though, because this past season on Real Housewives of Atlanta, except for the first part of the season, first part
Mm-hmm.
of the season, it was a mess. I will admit. They were celebrating the anniversary. She brought up some stuff. He got mad because she brought the stuff up. And then they had a blow up fight. They got over it. They came together. She hurt her. She tore her Achilles. How you tear two Achilles tendons and within a year of each other is really crazy to me. But nevertheless, we saw her tear her Achilles tendon on national TV when she was doing the race with Marlo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Drew said things had gotten really, really bad. It was like they were almost racing to get to the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna beat you there. She got there first, and he found
Mm-hmm.
out like an hour later. Um, I think this is going to be a good old battle. This is, in my opinion, why he did not agree to adopt her son that she previously had. Um, that's what I feel. I feel like this is why there was no adoption put in place for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, that's where we are with that. Um, I don't think you shocked either. I don't think you surprised at all either.
Mm-mm.
But word on the curb is, according to Candy, they did start reshoot. They did start shooting again for Real Housewives of Atlanta. They had wrapped up the season apparently. Um, had wrapped up the season like over a month ago, probably longer than that. And then we're waiting on them to come back into the fold. We kind of got a little breaky break. Potomac has ended. We got the Escape and SWV show that's on. That's only 6 parts. So I don't know when they're actually bringing Real Housewives of Atlanta back into the fold on Sunday nights. However, um, I normally they pretty much like clockwork. But according to Candy, as soon as them divorce papers was filed, Bravo was like, listen, we got to get this on camera. we
Mm-hmm.
missing the moments because apparently a lot of the drama that happens with a lot of the cast members happens off camera, right? And then we come into the season and then we got drama surrounding what happened off camera. Well, um, I'm interested in seeing maybe we can catch some of the breakdown and what led up to the divorce in the season, but I'm not for sure because all the events that I saw Drew at when they were showing cast pictures and stuff, I saw her husband with her. So we'll see
Mm-hmm.
how that goes. We'll see if we'll catch any of the breakdown in communication and what led up to the divorce. She did mention there was some abuse, emotionally and physical. She said she feared for her life. Uh, Almost so much so to where she was going to flee and go to Chicago, which is where she's from, her hometown, to get away from him. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Well, I don't know um what the outcome is going to be. Well, we typically know what the outcome is going to be with divorce, but we don't know who's going to get what in the situation. Is Drew going to get the house? Is Ralph going to get the house? That sort of thing. So we have to figure all of that out. So hopefully they'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get to catch them up on camera. I don't know. Speaking of things that drama that happens off camera, Michael Darby is suing Candiace Dillard Bassett. Suing Candiace Dillard Bassett because she made a comment about him giving fellatio to another man. Um, I feel like Michael, you're not gonna win this case. He's suing her for $2 million for defamation. A lot of people mentioned how you can't sue other members of the cast. But Michael Darby has not filmed. Um, I don't even know if he filmed last season. Did he film last season on Potomac?
Mm-mm.
We haven't seen Michael Darby in a while.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so because we have not seen Michael Darby, he is not a cast member of Real Housewives of Potomac. He and Ashley are getting well. We don't know if they're getting divorced because she hadn't filed. And she probably haven't filed because people was like, "Sis, this ain't right. This ain't smart. Whatever you got going on, you did not fight." She did gold digging all the way wrong. I ain't never seen nothing in my life like that. But he's suing Candiace for $2 million for making a statement that she made when she and Ashley were in an argument. Candiace said she said it in anger, but it was true because she knows a person that brought her that tea personally. So I don't know if Michael's going to be able to. I don't know if he's gonna be able to win that case. We'll see. We'll see how that unfolds. Maybe the cameras are following Candiace around now. I don't know. I cover all our reality. Hold on. Make sure. Let me check my notes. Married to medicine. Right. Vanessa Bryant. Vanessa Bryant won her case against LA County for $28.85 million for them showing the pictures from the plane crash of Kobe and Gianna and the other people that were on the plane, and she won that lawsuit. And they showed it in different settings in different places. Somebody took pictures of it, had it in their phone, and passed it around at an event that was like first responders event or something.
Mm-hmm.
So people got to see these pictures. So I'm not mad at her for getting this money.
Mm-mm.
I ain't mad at her at all. Get your money. I really hope that you get the money to some of the folk, the families that were on, because it wasn't just Kobe and them. It was they took pictures of other people as well that were on that flight. So that is something. So I'm very glad that she got it. Um, Ja Morant update. Um, Ja is an all-star player here in Memphis, and of course, right now Memphis is kind of up and down right now playing. I don't even know what their standing is right now. Ja hasn't been playing since the incident that happened. Where were they, in Arizona, Colorado? They were somewhere. Denver, I think, is where they were. If y'all aren't familiar with the story, Ja Morant was caught brandishing a gun at a strip club. Um, in Colorado, I think they played the Denver Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. In Colorado, after a game, um, just hanging out with whoever he was hanging out with, because it didn't look like any of the players from the team, but he was there hanging out. He brandishes his gun, and apparently, what seems to be gang signs, I don't know, that he was throwing up in the video. The Denver, Colorado police is not pressing charges, but as with anything, there is a morality clause that goes with it. Um, So he's been out for some games, and I think, from my understanding, he's going to be out at least for the next 4 games. Um, that's when they're expected to have him back, hopefully. But the coach is saying that's not, there's really no timetable because he needs to get himself together. Um, at the age of 23, I did some dumb stuff, and I was somebody's mama. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know a 23-year-old that makes all sound decisions because they're 23.
And your brain ain't fully developed until you after 25, to be honest with you.
That part too. Um, does he have a responsibility? A lot of people he shouldn't be held to a higher standard because He shouldn't be a role model.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. When you're in the public eye like that, whether you play basketball, football, you're a singer, rapper, whatever, you are a role model to these kids. You're a role model to some grown people. A lot of grown people move and shake the way the rappers and the ball players who are attempt to move and shake in that manner. They go get shoes because those are the shoes that you put out. I'm talking about Michael was able to retire and he's still selling shoes. You see what I'm saying?
And they the same shoes.
Over and over and over again. They releasing shoes, and that man is constantly making money because everybody is buying. They're buying the shoes, so they're role models whether they choose to be or not. He just wants to play basketball. He shouldn't be a role model. Now, as far as everybody blaming his parents, his father, Ja Morant. Let's talk about that real quick because I had a problem with the criticism that a lot of people are putting out there. Do I feel like with him being there should be a different type of atmosphere? Absolutely. But let's talk about how this man had this baby when he was in college. So, real talk, he might be in his 40s. We don't know Ja Morant's age, but I'm thinking he about the same age as Usher. I'm just putting that out there right now. So, whereas, you a little bit more mature, you grew up with that baby. You grew up with that baby. You grew up with that baby.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up with that baby. He had to stop playing basketball. He played basketball for Claflin University. If y'all want to look it up, y'all can. I did my research. He played basketball for Claflin. When his girlfriend got pregnant, who is now his wife, he had to stop playing basketball. He wanted to go to the NBA. He didn't. Now, do I think maybe he's a parent that, is living vicariously through his child because he didn't get the same opportunity because he had a baby? Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's helped his baby because his baby got a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raise his child. They live right next door to him. If you think that his dad is in control, I make more money than you. I done bought your house. You think his dad has a lot of say so or control over him? I don't know about that. I don't know.
If he's technically grown, right? He's grown, right?
He's grown, but he's not grown. In my opinion, he ain't grown. Once you get to the point to where you're able to make sound decisions as a grown-up, then you grown. He paying his own bills, so that's great. That's awesome. But he's not thinking like a 40-year-old would or like a 50-year-old would, which is the majority of the people that are commenting on the situation. They're 40, 50 years old. They're commenting on what this young man should be doing. What did you do when you were 23? You weren't in the public eye.
I was about to graduate University of Memphis.
But I'm saying you've done stupid stuff. Okay? You can't sit up here and tell me that you did everything right and you made every right decision. A lot of y'all lived in a strip club at the age of 23. I'm just saying. You heard my child. I have plenty of friends. They know strippers by names. That was their cheers, right? So, whereas he should be held to a higher standard, yes, he's making all this money. I get it. I understand. In my opinion, go to the strip club, son. Do what you do. Let me tell y'all something. I was watching, I don't know if y'all watch Here's the Thing. That chick Angel is hilarious. That chick Angel, who was the co-host of Here's the Thing with Kevin on Stage, she said, if my son made $200 million a year as a ball player, I'm gonna be in the back. Y'all would have saw me on the video clapping in the back. Clapping in the back, asking the baby what's her name and telling her to clap, clap, clap. Just this what that girl said. That girl had me rolling. She said, I'd be in there in the strip club with my son if he made $200 billion. I said, oh, okay, girl. Now, would I be in the strip club with my child and his little friends? Absolutely not. I would not. But I will understand. Now, is it right? Is it wrong that he in the strip club? No, and let me tell you what the strip club owner says. Club owner says he was really respectful. He spent $50,000 at the strip club. Okay. $50,000 at the strip club. Now that's probably like $50 out of his pocket, but that meant a lot to them girls in this strip club dancing for money. Okay, he spent $50,000 at the strip club. That man said he did not drink while he was in the strip club. He was extremely respectful, and he just had a little turn up moment, just a little bitty turn up moment. That's it. The guy, he enjoyed Ja while he was there. That's more than he probably could say for most celebrities that come through there to the strip clubs. The man was respectful and he paid them folk to strip. And the children made money that night. I don't see the problem. I'm just saying. Ja needs to be back on the court. I believe it, but I also think that the gun situation is an issue. Paul, Wendy just said that the brain does not develop till 25. Absolutely. So here's my thing, and I'm veering off topic just a little bit. I do not believe that at the age of 18, we should put our children out the house. That's my thought process. I know a lot of people want to live their lives, but you lay down and you had a child, right? If your child is not fully equipped to be out here living on their own, paying their own bills, they don't understand certain things. They do not, and I repeat, they do not. They're not ready or prepared to go out and live on their own. That's my thought process. That's how I feel, especially if you are not teaching them things to where they are doing what they need to do. Now, if your child move out on their own and they feel like they got it together, that's one thing. But I don't believe in parents pushing kids out as soon as they turn 18, get out of my house. Now, if you go to college, that's one thing. You're still kind of sort of technically under my care, right? Not 100%. You kind of making some decisions on your own. But for the most part, you still under my care because I still got to make sure you got what you need while you in college, unless you get a job. And in some situations, you still need mom and daddy's help. If you go to the military, that'll grow you up a little bit more, right? But even if the child decides they don't want to go to school and they're going to go to work, I think it is fair to say that it's not fair to push them out into the world unless you are there to guide them every step of the way. If you're not being a good example for your kids when it comes to paying bills and money and that sort of thing, if you're not being a good example to your kids when it comes to certain things, then I think it's fair to say that they're not ready to be out in the world on their own. That's my thought process. That's how I feel about it. The biggest issue with the NBA has is that you can't have a weapon on a plane, try to flight, bus team, hotel or locker room on a road trip. It's an automatic 50-game suspension. Okay. Gilbert did, yeah. Collectively bargained with the Players Association. So that's the other part of that. Yes, it's an automatic 50-game suspension, although they have not put that out there. The reports are saying that, but then we're getting from the Grizzlies organization, oh, there's no timetable, or oh, it's 4 games. First it was 2 games, and then 2 games have turned. He's done the 2 games, now it's turned into 4 games. So it's a different ball game. And I didn't realize that was an automatic rule. He had the gun with him. That's his gun apparently. And so he took the gun with him on the plane flying out to Denver. Here's my thing. You got $200 million. If you feel like you need security, you hire security. That's what you do. You do not break a rule that's going to cost you your livelihood. the people that you were surrounded by, you need to change up your environment. I think he needs a brand management and counseling. That's what I think needs to happen, as far as that's concerned. That's my thought process. That's how I
I
feel about
think all of them do. If you're going into, if you're in the NBA, NFL, any major sports team, also entertainment, you need to make sure you have that kind of team in play, so you'll be, you know, you'll know what is acceptable and what's not, because you paying a team to make sure that you're doing
it.
everything you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Um, so I definitely hope to see him um on the court sooner than later. Um, this was, in my opinion, let me say this. This was a time to make some type of demands. Brooklyn Nets, what they did with Kyrie, um, in my opinion, was totally and completely disrespectful. I don't care what anybody says. It was all because he reposted something. He didn't say anything. He just reposted something on his page. And all of a sudden it was like, it's whatever. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to donate to a cause. You got to come and apologize. And you got to do. No, this was the time to make some demands and put some things in place. Counseling. You got to do that. We got to be cool with the direction you're going in before you can come back and play, before you can travel with the team. If you fear for your life, or you fear that your safety is at risk, we want to make sure that you definitely put in place a security team. Those types of things should have been outlined, in my opinion, in order for him as a condition for him to come back. Just my thought process. I hope he gets it together. I hope he can make it by the playoffs. We'll see. Definitely, hopefully, because they definitely need him. They've been up and down. They did beat the Warriors the other night. Draymond and Dylan. Let me say this. That's an ugly little rivalry. It's amazing. It's just crazy. Very ugly rivalry. That they have. And they mean it, They absolutely mean it. They don't like each other. And they can't get with each other. And I get it. I understand. It's a very ugly rivalry. Gotta watch out for that. All right, moving on. This kidnapping in Mexico. Have you been following this story?
Not too much. All I know is all of a sudden on TikTok they was showing a video about 4 people missing.
Well, they found the 4
Mexico.
people. 2 people died. 2 people
was one of it the girl?
I don't know if it was a girl or not. I'm not sure. I know one of the guys died. I don't know who all died and who all lived and survived. But I want to know, why would we go to the hood of Mexico to get a BBL? That's what I need to understand. I already don't trust.
Right, because of the money. It doesn't cost that much.
I'm not, anything that don't cost that much and it got to do with surgery and put stuff in your body.
You get what you pay for.
It ain't worth it. So I'm already side-eyeing that's the reason why y'all was in the hood of Mexico. Okay. I'm side-eyeing that right now. Okay. A lot of people are saying they think it was a drug deal that gone wrong because the drug cartel kidnapped y'all. And they have quickly arrested all these people that was involved in your kidnapping, which is ironic. They have never solved the case that fast for Black people involved. That we still trying to get the people who killed Shanquella, okay, in Mexico. She was at a resort, at an Airbnb resort, okay? So I'm confused. I'm super confused about how all of this happened really quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm side-eyeing the whole thing. It's a little shady. It's extremely shady to me. I don't know. I hate that the people, that those who were involved that lost their lives. I hate that they lost their lives. But I'm really honestly side-eyeing this whole situation. Like, oh my God. Houseway. Why? I'm not going to the hood to go get no BBL. I'm definitely not going to the hood. You went to Martin Luther King Boulevard in Mexico. That's where you went to get a BBL. That's exactly where you went to get a BBL. Sis, let's talk about how that was smart. There's no way on God's green earth I would have did that. One of the guys' spouses went. I'm sorry, not his spouse. One of the guys went. His wife didn't know he was going. That's the other thing. I'm completely side-eyeing this whole thing. Side-eyeing it to the 20th power. Don't care what nobody says. Something ain't right about that. I understand it. I'll never understand it. I do. I hate that the people that are involved lost their lives. Definitely. Um, um, definitely hate that. But that's where we are with it.
But hold on now. Have you heard what happened in Brazil during Carnival?
No, what happened in Brazil doing Carnival?
Okay, so apparently one of the floats, it was satanic. Big old devil. They all worshiping the devil. They had one part where the devil was dragging Jesus around.
Oh no.
Yes. A couple of days later, a massive flood hits Brazil.
Oh my God.
I mean, massive.
Y'all can't be playing with Jesus and the devil like that now.
God will not be mocked.
I just need y'all to understand.
That was crazy. And then also, it is now beginning the fall of the Kardashians.
Oh.
Okay, so the Kardashians, none of them, the Kardashians, the Jenners, not invited to the Met Gala.
Oh, I heard that.
Number one, I guess they was kind of pissed last year that Kim appeared in Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday dress too.
Oh, that was Monica?
Yes, they was mad because she messed the dress up. The dress was tailor-made for Marilyn and not Kim. Kim had to lose 16 pounds to get into that dress.
So Kim was bigger than Marilyn Monroe?
Yes. Yes. And so she ended up messing up the fabric. Now I understand you want to make a statement. You could have had a replica made. Which she did end up still wearing the replica. She went into the red carpet with the dress, with the original dress.
And then changed to wear the
replica. And then changed, right.
We should just wear the replica in the first place.
Right. Make sense. Okay, so then it's Kylie Jenner and Hailey Bieber against Selena Gomez.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah,
it's Selena alone.
It's a war about them. Hailey Bieber been doing some crazy stuff, like trying to copy a lot of what Selena does, and if you
get the man.
And he treats her different than he treated Selena. He act like he really don't want to be married to her.
Then why did he get married to her?
Girl, it's confusing. So I think it was, I want to say end of the year last year, Selena went to Mexico or some on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes out. Now, Selena has lupus.
Right.
And sometimes her weight fluctuates.
It does.
And Selena don't care about what none of y'all say. She's still about love and positivity. Mm-hmm. Whatever y'all say gonna go over her head. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't bothering her. She ain't fazed by y'all. Mm-hmm. So it was some unflattering pictures of her in the water. And, some people was like, ooh, you're kind of chunky, stuff like that. So Kendall, Hailey, and some black girl was on TikTok, and they kind of made fun of Selena, trying to say it wasn't about Selena. And Selena was like, you know what? I know. I love y'all. I'm a fan. Blah, blah, blah. Then, she said, everybody be kind to everyone, y'all. Love you guys. That's what she said. Mm-hmm. Now, that would have ended everything But then Selena on her TikTok said that she laminated her eyebrows too much. I don't know what that means. I guess that's what drag queens do to with their eyebrows to make up, make their, I don't know. I have to look it up.
Okay.
But it was like pasted.
Mm-hmm.
So she over laminated her eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kylie decides, oh, let's get in on this. And she sends a picture on her Instagram with her eyebrows, said, I did this by mistake with the question mark. And then you saw Hailey Bieber's eyebrows too. So basically, they're mean girl
So
bullies.
y'all are trolling that baby.
Right. Okay. So what this results in? Hailey Bieber lost over 1 million followers.
That should have been the case.
Hold on, not done yet. Kylie Jenner lost a whole bunch of followers, plus lost the endorsement for Macy's. Macy's no longer selling Kylie products.
Oh.
A lot of people are, throwing their Kylie products in the trash and stuff. And here's my thing about that: you already spending the money, so throwing that in the trash ain't gonna do nothing. Just don't buy anymore.
It's not.
Her sales have declined drastically. Okay, as well as Hailey Bieber, she has a skincare line called Rhode, and I guess that's her middle name or something. Mm-hmm. But Selena Gomez has a skincare line in a cosmetic line called Rare Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Sales been going up. She's been getting a lot of endorsements. Even Jordan Woods on TikTok or Instagram, saying that the lip liner is just great, and she loves Rare Beauty's lip liner. Kind of making a dig at Kylie and the family. And we just see a major decline on the popularity of the Kardashians, and it's about dang time. And I would say the other word, but I'm not. It's about dang time, in the words of Lizzo. And I end the mic.
I'm sick of them. So, I really am. I'm really sick of them. I get it, but y'all have really made a mockery of a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Y'all done screwed up people's lives. Like, it's a mess. Nope.
And then hold on though, but then I done found out some stuff. So apparently they was trying to get Justin away from Selena a long time ago. Yes. Apparently, when Selena and Justin first started dating, the first go around, he cheated on Selena with Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah. Wait a minute! Yes. What an alarsa, pimpin'!
Yes, and then the second go around, he cheated on her with Hailey Bieber, and then after they broke up, 2 months later, Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber got married.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna send you the videos. You see the way he treats her compares to how he treats Selena. How he treated Selena. I think Selena was really the one that got away, and he really regrets it. But Selena is not studying. Yes.
With Kourtney though.
But then hold on. Here's some more stuff. Mm-hmm. I did not know that Kendall and Travis got dated.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Before him and Kylie got together.
Oh my God. My God. That's too much.
That is too much. And Kylie and Travis are not together because he allegedly got somebody else pregnant and has another baby on the way.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe it. You had 2 babies. Just 2 babies by that man. I believe it. Interesting.
So if you on TikTok, you should see some of that.
I'm gonna go look for it at a later date.
Yes, and it's just so funny. It's so
I
hilarious. It's
bet.
so hilarious. And then on the Vanderpump Rules, who we got scandal, scandal after scandal after scandal. I know you don't watch Vanderpump Rules.
I have not watched Vanderpump Rules in a very long time.
So
Um,
you remember Tom Sandoval, right?
I remember him.
And you remember him dating Ariana?
I do remember that.
Okay. He cheated on Ariana.
I remember
You
that
remember
part.
you remember James, the British guy? He was a
Vaguely.
DJ. Where his ex-girlfriend, apparently Tom Sandoval and Raquel, what's her name is actually Rachel, they hooked up they've been hooking up for 6-7 months.
Oh,
And allegedly Raquel was sending him stuff via the FaceTime. And not knowing, Sandoval recorded it. And,
oh,
and guess who saw it on his phone?
oh,
Ariana.
man, listen.
Yeah, yes. And it just gets it gets juicy though. It really gets
Oh my
juicy.
God.
And I think it's gonna make the new season of Vanderpump Rules and even the reunion, because like when this came out, Rachel and Sheena was on Watch What Happens Live together,
Tom
laughing,
was just on there too.
laughing and kiki and all that kind of stuff. And apparently, after the what's happened live, that's when the
Everything
the
came out.
crap hit the fan, and allegedly Sheena punched Raquel, punched her, and slammed her against a brick wall
Well, apparently Raquel has a restraining order.
against Sheena. So that's going to make it interesting with the reunion, because
Hmm.
that means one of them ain't going to show up.
Right.
And I don't think it's going to be Sheena. I think Raquel is not going to show up because everybody's against her now. And it seems like everybody's going to be
Oh
against
my
her because
God.
she's considered the home wrecker. However, this is what gets me. I get mad at the woman. Raquel is not in a relationship with Ariana. Tom is. So are y'all showing Tom the same heat that y'all showing Raquel? And I can understand. I can see why they doing that with Raquel, because Raquel, after she ended her engagement with James, she was hooking up. She hooked up with Oliver Garcelle's son. You saw
Mhm.
them kissing. They said that she so-called hooked up with Tom Schwartz, but I guess Tom Schwartz was used as a decoy. And
Mm.
I guess he knew about it. And he was like, well, I take the fall for it since, I'm divorced and stuff like that.
So
And
crazy.
on the show, she's been wanting to kiss people and make out with folks and stuff like that. So I can see why people are going against her. However, it takes two to tango.
It absolutely does. It absolutely.
So, but again, Raquel is not in a relationship with Ariana.
Tom is.
Tom is. And Lala just oh my God, she is the pot that's calling the kettle black. Just calling her a home wrecker and stuff like that. Hello, isn't that how you got your so-called baby daddy?
Ooh. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
So
So Tiger Woods, ah,
mhm,
um, is being sued for $30 million by his ex girlfriend, now Erica Herman.
mhm,
Um, he's it's over her being a tenant at his Florida mansion. She claims that he tricked her into leaving the home they lived in together for 6 years following their breakup in October, alleging that she still had 5 years left to stay due to an oral agreement. So she was supposed to stay I guess they're in the house 5 more years. Um and he's saying there was no such agreement, and that she was merely a guest at the home who had no legal claims as a tenant. During their relationship, he did invite her to come live with him as a guest in the residence. He never negotiated an oral tenancy agreement with Miss Herman, nor was there ever written tenancy agreement between Mr. Woods or the trust on the one hand and Miss Herman on the other hand. Mr. Woods never transferred to Miss Herman any ownership interest or any rights or possessions of the residence. This is according to the New York Post. Let me tell you what this man did though. And I don't know. Here's my thing. At this point in time, if you have any type of agreement, I don't care if you my boo thing, you my mama, my daddy, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, whoever. Um, Regardless of who you are to me, if we got some type of agreement on the table, we need that in writing. And you didn't do that. So you probably got him to agree to this while y'all was having sex or something. I don't know. But typically when you can't have these types of agreements with people, and you know what I'm saying? You can't have that type of agreement with somebody that's on the table. Let me tell you what this man did to her. He said, we finna go on vacation. They go on vacation. He leaves her wherever they went to go on vacation. Leaves her.
And when she got back, they told her she didn't have a residence anymore.
I mean, he left her. Left her. And he went back home and changed all the locks on the doors at the house. That's what happened. So I do believe in he got an NDA signed. She wants to be removed from the NDA. And now she's claiming sexual assault or harassment. Lord Jesus. Tiger, you ain't learned nothing yet. Stop messing with these white girls, man. Stop. Just stop. That don't mean you no good at this point. Elin beat you up. Now she had a right to beat you up because she was cheating on her with multiple people.
Man.
So she had a right to beat you up, but here's the thing. Let it go, sir. Let it go. This is crazy. Very crazy. But you ain't right to listen, sir. And you asked this girl to come live with you and all that good stuff. Chris Rock.
Okay, I know you said you didn't see all of it. And he didn't talk that much about Will Smith.
That's really more so about Jada.
Right. But he really didn't talk that much. He had like, I want to say a good 5-10 minutes. Okay. A good about 5, 6, probably 6 minutes about that.
Gotcha.
The rest of it, okay, yeah, Chris Rock can be sometimes funny. But these jokes, I was like, come on now. That's the reason why you got slapped. Okay. You're degrading black women for the laughs of white people. That's what I got out of the whole thing. I didn't laugh one time.
Okay.
He talked about Meghan.
I heard he talked about Meghan Markle.
That she should have known that the royal family was racist. He was just talking about, different black women, different black people, and just degrading for the laughs of white people, because he was laughing to white folks. So I understand, he has a dry sense of humor like Dave Chappelle. Him and Dave Chappelle have the same type of sense of humor. They do. But I'm not like identical, but the same type of sense of
I understand Dave. I promise I do. I understand Dave. Okay, go ahead.
But Chris Rock, People's like, man, he was funny as heck. He was funny as heck. So I'm sorry. If somebody's gonna degrade, it's one thing about checking somebody. Oh, that's funny when you check somebody. But when you really downgrading and degrading in black women, that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a different story. I
Yeah.
did not like it.
I got you.
And,
And a
and
lot of people
so,
put that
and
out.
I'm like, I'm tired. It's been a year since the slap. Move on.
I
You
am
done made
over
your
it. Now
money.
let me say
You
this.
done made your money from it.
Let me say
Because if
this
it
though.
wasn't for him slapping you, you wouldn't make the money that you make.
Let's also go here. I'm gonna go watch Marlon Wayans because Marlon's is on, I think, Peacock, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
and or HBO Max. I think it's on HBO Max. Marlon said Marlon talked bad about Chris. He said, "Man, I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out if he was gonna do something, or if he was just gonna stand there." That man stood there and was like, "Wow, Will Smith smacked me." I said, "Okay, yes, I'm ready." So I'm gonna go watch Marlins because Marlins was funny. Okay, that was
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. I'm gonna go watch it. Here's my thing. Um, and like I said, I've seen Chris before. I've not had a problem with his comedy prior to now. Um, I don't like the degradation, that's the word, of black women as a result, in order for you to feel better about
That's
yourself, for
right.
you to make yourself look big. And typically, no, you might not be a bully, okay, but with your words you can be, and it's offensive. That
Mm-hmm.
lady, yeah, Jada ain't the best person in the world. I'm
Mm-mm.
She ain't. She got her faults. She got things she got going on. And I feel like she's genuinely unhappy in her situation. At
Mm-hmm.
the same time, the lady got alopecia, and she's talked about how that's been a thing for her. And I kind of feel like you knew that. She got red table talk, and he's been kind of like slick harassing Jada for years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been harassing this lady for years. This man got fed up with you harassing his wife, for years. Um, Interviews, they bring up Jada, you got some and somewhere I read somewhere that maybe he tried to date Jada back in the day and Jada turned him down, and he kind of feels a way about that. That's what I read. I don't know if
If that's the craze, that's kind of like the Pierce Bronson with Meghan Markle. He wanted to date
yeah,
Meghan Markle,
the
and she
same
was like,
thing.
nope.
She went out on one little date with him.
And she was like,
She didn't like you because you're a butthole. Because you're not a good person. She didn't want to be aligned with you. I don't know how true that statement is, but it kind of seems like you are a scorned lover or a scorned non-lover, and that woman didn't choose you; she chose somebody else. Um, and so I don't want to hear about. We keep talking about the entanglement that
mm-hmm.
happened a while ago. That man still with that woman. Got a lot of guys are doing think pieces about how she disrespected Will, and they want to bring up Tupac. They grew up together.
And Tupac really saw her as a sister and not
They grew
anything
up.
more.
They grew up together.
Right.
So explain to me what was the problem. Now, Will did admit that he was jealous of their relationship. He was, because he felt like she held Tupac to this certain regard. That was her boy. That was her homie. You know, we got to stop reading more into things than actually is. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen several think pieces about that. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. And here's the other thing: those are rich people's problems. I ain't got a fifth of their money. So I'm gonna let them rich people have their problems and go on about my business. Um, Chaka Khan, y'all. Chaka Khan had some things to say about Mary J, Mariah Carey, and Adele. All of them beat her out on I think they had like a top singers list in the world or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And um Shaka Khan was like Mary J. Blige was off key when she redid Sweet Thing. I said, "Oh my god."
Well, Mary J. Blige sung the song on her key and not in Chaka Khan's key. I think Mary J. Blige did okay on that song. Now, when Mary J. Blige redid A Dream that was originally sung by the DeBarge, I was like, you done messed up. Why?
Well, Shaka said she told Mary this to her face. Um, she also mentioned, um, but she didn't understand how Mary J. Blige beat her out as one of the greatest singers of all time. She didn't understand how Mariah Carey beat her out. She didn't understand how Adele beat her out. She has since apologized because she said she felt like she was roped into answering questions about these ladies, and everybody's in the industry. We shouldn't be down on one another, but ma'am, you meant that. You might have had some dark liquor at that point in time when they was interviewing you, but you meant that. I saw that interview. You meant everything you said, sis. You meant that. Mary J is not a singer to me. She's a performer. I put her up there, not the same caliber, but people go see, we like her songs, and we go see her in concert to do the auntie dance, right? That's what Mary J. Blige is, and she's done good with her acting. I've enjoyed seeing her in certain things acting wise, but for the most part, that's what we ain't going to see Mary. Mary ain't a Whitney Houston. She's not Mariah Carey. She's not Adele. She ain't Chaka Khan. She's Mary J. Blige. She's in a category all by herself. So I look at her more as a performer and an entertainer, more so than a singer, if that makes sense. She had some rough patches through her career, but she survived and came out on top, even with her having to pay her ex-husband all this money. Girls get prenups, okay? This is where we are with this. So I like Mary J. Blige. I don't think they should do a greatest singer of all time list, because that's a slippery slope, in my opinion. That's a very slippery slope. So gotta be careful when we're making those
type of
insinuations.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this. I know that being in the music industry, it could be very competitive. But I would go into it like, yeah, it's a competitive, but I'm in no competition with nobody. I'm not comparing myself to anyone.
Correct.
I'm me.
And you don't do that when you get in the industry like that. You just don't. So that's there. There's that. Real quick, I'm gonna go over I can get to this next story. Tyler Perry and Byron Allen are in talks to buy BET.
I think the deal is done.
Is it done? Okay, deal is done. So, what does that mean? That means that white people aren't controlling, although Debra Lee is the head of BET. I don't know if that's going to change or not, but that means
I thought she was a former CEO.
She might be the former CEO right now. When I look up Debra Lee, it says she's the CEO of BET, but she might be the former. And we're gonna get into that in just a second. But Tyler Perry and Byron Allen the deal is done, so they will be doing it. And Tyler Perry basically run BET at this point, right now. They got some other shows on there, but for the most part, he got all the shows on there. And then Angela Yee, who was formerly of the Breakfast Club, she branched off to do her own thing. She was just stating on the Tamron Hall show how hard it was for her, being one of the only females, in at the station. A lot of women came against her. It was like, well, there were a lot of women that worked in the background, and she was like, I'm not discounting those jobs. I think she was meaning as a radio personality. A lot of times in the industry, because I think I understood what she was trying to say. A lot of times in the industry, you don't have an all-female morning show or all female show, even if it's in the afternoon or the morning. You know, typically, I think Ricky Smiley probably has like more females on the show than anybody else. I think maybe Steve Harvey might come in second because he got Cheryl, and then well, no, he just got Cheryl. So no, Ricky Smiley has the most females on the show. He got the Brad. He's had Portia Williams. He got the guy. He has more women, and then there are a lot of women that are coming in and they've gone through guest Eva. A lot of different people have come through the show and have been a part. Gary with the T is not a female. He's gay representation, but um I think Ricky Smiley is the only person that I've seen it, but typically it's always like one or two guys and a female. That's always been the narrative. It's never been two chicks and a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's never
Right.
been an all female crew in a radio show in that work. Now, of course, maybe if you want to balance things out with the talk show, that's been a different thing. You know, you've had some exceptions. You had the Wendy Williams show. She was on radio for several years, and then that turned into a talk show. But for the most part, you had Monique had a syndicated show at one point in time. But for the most part, that's not the norm in the industry. And I think that's what she was trying to say. A lot of people decided to come out the woodwork, kind of downing Angela Yee and talking about how, you know, she, I guess, was being colorblind. And a lot of people wanted to talk about how she contributed to some of the women's pain or whatever. The Erica Mena situation, Erica claimed she didn't know that man DJ Envy was married. It was a lot. But I get what she was saying, and as a woman, you should be able to appreciate that you got a voice that's saying, "Hey, yo, this ain't the norm in the industry." You know, people got to fight for this norm to be, you know, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they understand where she was coming from. We'll come back to it if I see any updates or any battles going back and forth. Last but not least, Debra Lee, who is a former, we're gonna go with former CEO of BET, is coming out with a book, and she's been going around discussing it. And she decided to share this week. One of the things that is featured in her book was the fact that she and Bob Johnson, who was the former president and
On
CEO
the
of
owner of
BET,
BET, and I think sold it for like $1 billion.
he
That
did,
was.
but he was the head HNIC.
Mm-hmm.
And she came into that position, but they had an affair while both of them were married. That was the tea she dropped on us this week. Both of them were married. As a matter of fact, his wife divorced him and ended up getting with either the
A
judge that,
judge.
yeah, the judge that was on the case. I was like, oh my God. But Deborah tried to end it several times, and he would threaten her job as a result of it. So she kept in the back of her mind, it was like, do I want to give up all these years that I've spent to get to where I am? So she kind of got along to get along, if you will. And as a result of that, she just kind of felt like there was a little bit of abuse and gaslighting and some other things that
Mm-hmm.
went along with that, which I kind of agree with. But sis, why get in the relationship in the first place?
Right.
You know, I know you're spending all your time with this man because basically when you bosses, that's what you do. You work and you're working closely with this man. But if you know you got a husband at home and he got a wife at home, why did you even put yourself in that position in the first place? Now, again, I'm not, just like we said earlier, it takes two people to tango. I don't know whose idea it was for them to have the relationship, or if it was just something that happened organically. But at some point, somebody should have been like, "Hey, this ain't what I want. This ain't where I'm going with this." I don't know what the wife got in their divorce settlement when he divorced his wife, um, or when his wife divorced him, because I'm sure she found out about the affair. Um, but to keep going forward in a situation that's not conducive, that is my phone. What are you doing with it?
You need to disconnect from the speaker.
Oh, um, so to put me in a situation or a position to where you're threatening my job and you holding it over my head, that's a different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy, in my opinion. Um, so I don't know, and I don't know that there was any EEOC type of thing, because either way, if she had said something, she would have still lost all of everything that she built. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people had something to say about it, because she was one of the main people that were against the uncut. You remember the uncut videos that used to come on late at night, videos that they couldn't show on regular TV, and then some of these homemade rapper videos that you see that were just out of whack and out of control. They couldn't show. I remember it was a big deal. Hot. It wasn't hot in here. What's the Nelly song? Oh my God.
It's getting hot in here.
No, it wasn't hot in here. I can't remember what song it was. It was another song that Nelly came out with, where they had a credit card and they took the credit card and put it between the cheeks. It's another song. It's not hot in here, that they couldn't play during the daytime. They only could play it on uncut at night.
I just remember BET in the early years. You had Video Soul.
I remember Video Soul, baby.
You had 107 in Park, 106 in Park. You had Teen Summit.
Who
was the dude, the fine dude with the voice? I was like, oh my gosh, I am in love with him. I used to be on Teen Summit. He used to have that deep voice.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Because I think he was on the voice on Waiting to Exhale too. You know, in the radio station.
Yeah, I don't remember him though.
But I do remember
Ananda Lewis. Yeah, I remember his name. Hold on, I'm finna Google it. I remember Ananda Lewis. I remember her. She was on Teen Summit, and then she did some other stuff. And ended up going to MTV, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, Teen Summit. Oh, they had 11 seasons? I didn't realize they had 11 seasons.
It's Adimu.
Yep, I just saw it. Oh, Gabrielle Dennis was on there too. Interesting. Okay. Yes, Ademo. Yeah, I mean, I like that type of programming. I don't know if they'll ever get there. I know, like, some of the programming that they have on TV One, besides like the crime shows that I like to watch, I miss TV One so bad. If anybody got to log in for me to log in so I could watch TV One, I would be ever so grateful. Because I ain't got it. But I know some of the programming on TV One. I know they have like lifestyle shows, cooking shows, that sort of thing that features us. Because, you know, going on some of the shows like on HGTV, we just had to wait. I remember watching Egypt Sherrod and her husband have a show on HGTV that I love to watch. And it's tricky with the black stars, right? And they've had several shows on there, but like their show would end and they have to, you know, create something new, and they're constantly pitching ideas, where you have some shows that have been on the air for a very long time, and if it ain't broke, they haven't fixed it. So it's situations like that. But what if we had our own, right? So I think BET was that for us back then, but BET has turned into something else that ain't what, you know, what we've been used to. And it's been a little different. But I think with Tyler Perry and Byron Allen coming to the picture, I remember the HBCU games they used to be played. You know, they used to play on BET. Now, right now, that would be problematic because ESPN kind of has a contract to do that. But it's just things like that we used to be able to come home to with BET. And I think we've gotten away from that, and hopefully, maybe prayerfully, we can get back to where we need to be with that as well. So that's where I am. I would like to see more programming. They got some good shows on
Mhm.
BET. I'm not gonna lie, and on BET Plus has some very good shows. But I want to see more of that. I think they need to revive Teen Song. I think they tried to. It was a different type of show. Kiki
Palmer.
Palmer had a show on there at one point in time. It didn't last long. But I think teens and young adults need some type of programming geared towards
Mhm.
them. And not just the same old stuff that we get. And I think they need to do some type of outreach to that demographic, in my opinion. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I
that.
had I had something else to say too. Not related to this. It was something
Mhm.
else. But let me think about it. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I want to wrap up because I got another meeting
Yeah.
to
Okay.
do.
So
But
yeah, we got
did you
yeah,
finish?
you at your meetings at 7, right?
I
I'm
love
trying
you.
to think, girl. It was something important. Dang it. I hate when that happens.
I do too.
Oh my goodness. Does it have to do something with the show?
I don't know. Now, if it's a show that we watch
Hold
on
on.
TV,
No, no. Okay, no. Right quick. Tennessee. The Republicans of Tennessee has passed a law that's going to allow county clerks to deny same-sex marriages, interfaith marriages, also interracial marriages.
who came? That was like the dumbest thing ever. So
And
now we're
see,
going
and
back in time to Jim
yes,
Crow days.
yes, and I'm thinking they was trying to gear it more towards the gay community, but with the interracial marriages, and this is all alleged, and this is my opinion. See what they're trying to do now, because the white women are not having that many babies. They already got the place to ban abortion. But then they thought about it too. They're having babies with the black people and not many of us. So
Yeah,
we need to get that cut out. Like a marriage is going to stop
because they still
people.
gonna have sex, baby. Y'all done banned abortion, so they ain't got no choice but to have a baby.
So I just think that is, I'm like this. I'm not a judge. You know, I don't I don't completely agree with the lifestyle. However, I'm not gonna treat a person who is a part of the
Because
LBGT
that's not our
plus
job to do.
QIA.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna love you like I love anybody else because that's who I am. I love hard every day. And I'm gonna respect you. And one other thing, don't ever, I understand in the trans community, and this is my opinion, that you want to be, if you're a man wanting to be, you have transitioned to be a woman, you want to be called a woman, don't you call me a cisgender. I am not cisgender. I am a woman. Period. Point
But
blank.
you do know what that mean by that. That means you are. That's they're saying the same
Right.
thing.
Right. But instead of doing all of that, call it what it is. I'm just, by gender, I am a woman, not cisgender. Not, you can be transgender all you want. I just don't like the cis in front of it. I really don't. I am a woman, naturally born woman. I just don't like that term cisgender. I don't like that term birthing parent. I am a mom. It's offensive to me. However, if that's how you want to identify as, I am okay with it. I am not going to disrespect you. If you want to be called him, she, her, they, this, that, whatever, I'm going to call you how you want to be called. But I will expect for you to do the same to me. And
I
that's
got
how I
you.
feel about it.
Respect for respect. I get it.
So,
Um,
but I just think that this law is really, really sad, but it's giving the right for the county clerks to deny. And I just said this, y'all can come to Memphis because Memphis is a Democratic city. So they're not going to deny.
yeah, no, they're not. Um,
So,
So we
That's
gotta be
it.
mindful of that. I don't like what they're doing or how they got that going. It's really not how can I put this? It's really not conducive to um our what's the word I'm looking for? I think you're taking away the freedom. That's the real
Mhm.
freedom that you're taking away. And that's what ticks me off with that is that you're taking people's freedom of their free liberties away from them, and I don't appreciate it, or I can't get behind that part.
And it has nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with you at all. It's not affecting you. It's not gonna make or break you. It's not gonna control the money that goes in your pockets. It has nothing to do with you. I'm a human being, you're a human being. And you should have the same human rights that I have. That's my thought process behind it. Um and
But
it is what it is. Um but we're gonna wrap up today's show. We will see
okay.
y'all tomorrow night
Mhm.
for It's On, where we are going to review Sex Life season 2 over on Netflix. So join in on that conversation. Wendy, how can they reach you?
Um, on Facebook, Wendy Edinburgh Smith. You see my name upon thing. Instagram, my personal page is Deluxe76. However, my business Instagram page, and I am gonna get this right because I always get it messed up. It is Wendy ESMK. That is my business page. My TikTok is Wendy E Smith 8. I do believe. Let me get on to it. Because I changed it. It's Wendy E. Smith 8. And of course, my Mary Kay page, www.marykay.com/WEDINGBOURGH.
And you guys can reach me on Facebook at Vix Key is Faith More, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Vix Key is Faith. Y'all can also reach us over on Facebook at the size up, Instagram the size up 2102. Um and on oh, we ain't got no TikTok page. On YouTube, the Size Up Official Podcast over on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification button or bell so you can be notified whenever we go live, and you can get caught up on all the episodes that we have online. You also can listen to us anywhere that you listen to podcasts, with the exception of Apple. We're not on Apple Podcasts just yet. But make sure y'all do check us out. Um, we're gonna see you guys tomorrow night. Y'all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful evening. We'll check you later. Bye.
Bye.